Hola, yo soy Arturo Ortiz, soy creador de contenido y host de este podcast. En Auténtico se hablan de temas polémicos de alto impacto y de cómo siempre debes saber adaptarte a cualquier situación en la vida sin importar qué tan difícil ésta sea, como todo un buen camaleón. Todo esto de la mano, claro, de nuestros invitados que a través de su experiencia nos demuestran lo que es ser auténtico. En cada cosa que hagas, sé auténtico, sé único, sé tú. Comenzamos.
Hola camaleones, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a un episodio más de su podcast de Auténtico. En este episodio será, pues vaya, algo diferente, algo nuevo, vaya, y es que todo el episodio será en inglés, debido al invitado que tenemos el día de hoy. Y bueno, para no hacerla más de emoción, ladies and gentlemen, Graham Campbell, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's been a while since we saw each other and talked.
Yeah, I know.
Let me tell you something. It's a real pleasure to have you here today on the podcast. And actually, it's a pretty new thing here in Auténtico doing this. I mean, a podcast in English, but you know, changes and new things are always good, you know? So let's begin.
Of course, I'm sure people won't mind.
Yeah. So first of all, tell us briefly about you. You know, who you are, what things you do, kind of stuff, you know?
No problem. So I'm Graham Campbell. You might know me as Chef Graham from Netflix The Final Table. I've teamed up with a group of SEMA in Texas. I've done the SEMA tour we've done last year to Merida, the whole in between Los Cabos, Toluca, you name it. I've been there, which is cool. I love Mexico. The Mexican cuisine and what you all do over there is stands out on its own, you know. But yeah, so if I say Netflix The Final Table, you might know me from. And that's kind of it. I'm a chef, opening 2 restaurants in Texas called Rosemary. One's in McAllen, Texas, which McAllen, although it's in Texas in America, is pretty much like a small Mexico because it's like 80% Spanish and Mexican that live there, which is cool. And the other one's in Dallas, both called Rosemary. Fine dining, relaxed fine dining restaurants that we're opening. But obviously with all what's happening with COVID and all that's going on over the world, it's kind of put a little halt on that. So I'm back in Scotland right now.
Yeah, I can imagine. And like you tell us, you were in the final table, so that's pretty amazing. I can imagine how do you felt. So
yeah, it was pretty surreal. I mean, they actually the process of getting on the final table, they actually contacted me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Chef Graham Campbell. So they actually contacted me on Instagram, and I thought it was a joke. And I was like, yeah. So I got this message at 1 a.m. UK time saying, "Hi, I'm a prospective recruiter for. We're doing a Netflix show for chefs. We want to make it the biggest culinary show ever made in the world." And I'm like, yeah, this is a joke. This is a complete joke. But no, it turned out real. Yeah, I know. It turned out to be real. The next day, they contacted me on Skype, and they were like, "Hi, we'd like to interview you regarding this position coming up. We've got a TV show we're going to produce for Netflix." And I'm like, honestly, this is quite cool. So, but there's no guarantee that you'll be on the show. And I'm like, right, okay, I'll give it a bash and see what happens. So it went through loads of stages from Skype interviews, and I was sitting at like 2 a.m. in a chef jacket getting interviewed by one of the crew people that were trying to get chefs for the show. They actually contacted over 10,000 chefs throughout the world. It whittled down, and after 2-3 months, all right, okay, we're going to fly you over to LA to come do this show. And I'm like, right, okay. And I had an original partner, a guy called Mick Elise, from the Congo, and he actually pulled out 3 days before I had to fly to LA. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do here? I was like, got this opportunity to go to LA and film this massive TV show. And I'm like, they're like, okay, we'll still take you over. We'll find you another partner. So Netflix actually found me another, not Netflix, it's actually a company called Old School TV Productions, who actually made the TV show, then sold it on to Netflix. Because Netflix don't actually make TV shows. It's like little production companies, and then Netflix buy them all up, and then that's where your TV shows come from, you know. So they flew me over, and then they teamed me up with Aaron. So I met Aaron about 3 days before we were actually to start filming. But when we got to LA, there was actually 48 chefs flown out, but only 24 made the show. So you were still competing to be on the TV show when we got to LA, from all these 3 months of interviews and all this stuff to get over to LA. And then we done this mock filming with everybody was in their twos, and then they split the 24 and 24 up. One busload of 24 went to one like a hangar, so there's 2 hangars, and then another 24 went, and we were all kind of sitting there like, why is there only 24 of us in this room? And they're like, you've been accepted to go on the show, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, man.
Oh yeah.
You know?
So when you knew about that Netflix was inviting you to be part of a show, to be a part of the final table, I mean, what did you think in that moment? How do you feel? I mean, you told us before that you said you thought it was a joke, no? Like it was fake.
Yeah,
I can even imagine how did you feel.
I mean, you get all these scams online all the time. It's like you get Instagram, people contact you on Instagram saying, "Oh, do you want to be an influencer for this, or do you want to be on this?" Or, I mean, I actually got one about 2 weeks ago. Somebody says, "We want you to come do this show in Honolulu," and it was a complete scam. So I actually thought it was a scam, but then realer, and I was like, "This is amazing!" And then to be accepted for the show, it was like surreal. I mean, I'm a chef. I've been a chef since I was 15 years old. I'm now 37. I got a Michelin star when I was 25, but I never thought I would ever reach to the point in my career where I am now. You know, I mean, I'm opening 2 restaurants in America, but with possibilities to open more. The whole journey from being in Scotland and being a chef, and I would never have imagined where I am now. You know, it's like surreal.
Yeah.
And it's the final table in Netflix that have actually got me there. So
yeah, now you're living the dream.
I know it's surreal in a way to think that I'm just I mean, Scotland's only got 5 million people in it. You know, and I'm moving to a country which has got 390 million people in it. And people all over the world know my name, and I'm like, this is mental. I'm just a chef that's worked hard. I mean, I used to work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day for days on ends, you know, or weeks on end, sorry. And it just shows you that sometimes you get lucky, and that's all it is. I'm just lucky.
Yeah, you are so lucky.
Oh, tell me about it. And I wouldn't, like, every day when I wake up, I'm like, it's like a dream, you know? And it's like, how is this even happen? How am I opening restaurants in America? How am I known all over the world? It just doesn't seem real sometimes.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, you know? But so your first thought was it was a fake, it was a joke, but did you feel nervous? You feel the fear, you know?
Of course. I mean, if you don't get nervous, then you don't care. So even like when I'm working in the kitchen and before service, I get nervous because you've got to have passion, you've got to have drive, you've got to want to do something to be good at it. Because if you think that you're good at something, you just kind of give up. So unless you get nervous, and I'm sure everybody does, you get nervous, but it's a good nervous. You know, it's like, right, okay, I've got to make this go right. So you put everything you can into it. And that's what I do whether I'm in the kitchen, whether I'm on a TV show, whether I'm doing anything that I do, you give it 100%. Maybe people say, oh, give it 110%, but you can't give 110%. You give 100% and you just push as hard as you can. And if something good happens, then brilliant. But we're all human. If we mess up sometimes, in which we all do, you just kind of got to kind of take it on the chin and just, right, let's just carry on and keep going, you know?
Yeah, that kind of nervous, I think, is like more, it's like a motivation, you know, like
Oh,
you
of course.
said, you thought, fuck, I'm gonna do it. I can do this and more, and I want to win. I want to prove everyone and myself that I could do it. You know?
Yes, of course. Because when you get to my level, there's nobody pushing me. I've got to push myself. You know, it's not like if I was a commie chef or a chef de partie or a sous chef and you're coming up the ranks. You've always got a head chef or an executive chef or somebody that's showing you and pushing you and pushing you and pushing. Whereas now, since the age of, well, I became a head chef at 23 years old. I was a head chef, 23, 24. So it's got to be, you've got to push yourself, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like I know. Um, and thank you for this beautiful and amazing introduction about you, about your career. But the topic of today is different because you know it's not like a topic at all. It's more like
Hmm.
about you. I mean that we are going to talk about your experience, your career. So first of all, um, you know, how did you decide to do the things that you actually do? I mean, to being a chef, did you study culinary arts, or to be who you are, famous and recognized chef, or what did you take? What way did you take?
I've never went to culinary school in my life. Probably you would class me as a self-taught chef. Culinary school in the UK compared to culinary school in Mexico. I mean, culinary school in Mexico is massive. We take like Grupo Sima. Grupo Sima, they give so much to the students. It's unbelievable. Uh, but in the UK, the culinary schools, they're very old-fashioned, if you know what I mean. So I never went to school. I left high school, then went on to, which is like secondary education here, went on to work in a kitchen as a commie chef at the age of 15, and then just worked my way up, worked my way up, worked my way up. So that's 20, what's that, 23 years I've been a chef now.
Oh my God! But when you were a kid, when you were a kiddo, you said just I'm gonna be a chef,
No,
or what happened? What happened
I
for being? Did you decide to be a chef?
I actually fell into it to be a chef. Uh, I got an opportunity to get more money, but I had to go and work in the kitchen
Okay.
when I was 15. And I'm like, okay, then let's just see what happens. So I actually started off 15-year-old commie chef. I was on £3 6 pence an hour, which in pesos that would be 25 pesos in the pounds, 25, say 75 to 80 pesos every hour I was getting paid. And this is going back a
Okay.
long, long time, 23 years, and minimum wages obviously went up and all that's gone up. But yeah, so I was on next to no money, but I worked hard and I kind of enjoyed it in a way. But I never thought that I would ever get to where I got. I just thought it's a job, it makes me money. I was 70, turned 17, I bought a car, I modified my car, I spent a fortune on it. Uh, it's kind of my other hobby is modifying cars, sort of body kits and performance modifications and alloys and all that type of stuff. So I just spent all my money on that. And that's kind of
Yeah,
what
man.
the job gave me money. And then it wasn't. I actually moved from Scotland down to England. I got a job in we got rosettes over here, which is like an award that the food industry gets. So it was a two rosette restaurant. Uh, Started seeing food that I'd never seen before, and I'm like, this is pretty awesome. They were making like fresh desserts, and they were bringing fish in whole, bringing meat in whole. You're prepping it all on the line, which was quite cool. There was 15 chefs in the kitchen, big operation. And then I actually got an opportunity to go and work at a three rosette restaurant, which is like the next level up. But the chef that actually owned the restaurant held 2 Michelin stars, and I didn't even know what a Michelin star was. So it was a guy called Paul Heathcote, Longridge restaurant in just outside Preston in England. And the chef that was in charge of the head chef actually worked with Gordon Ramsay. So he was like Gordon Ramsay's sous chef. I don't know if you ever watched Gordon Ramsay done the TV show Boiling Point, and it was like one of the first shows that Ramsay done. And actually, the guy James, he was actually in that show. He was the sous chef there at Ramsay's restaurant. So I'm getting trained by boys that have been working with Gordon Ramsay. I mean, Gordon Ramsay's obviously massive. Everybody knows who Gordon Ramsay is. And then it's like, right, you're on a section. I'm like, on a section? What's going on here? It's like, we've got to make raviolis and we've got to make this and then the moose bush. And I'm like, what the fuck's in the moose bush? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, this is like a whole different world. So that was when I was 22, 23, I went there. And you think, like 2-3 years later, I then achieved a Michelin star at 25 years old. So going from my first job, which I worked for like 7-8 years in, which is just like a coaching hotel, 3-star coaching hotel, pretty shit. You know, I mean, we cooked the fish off at 6 o'clock. It would sit in the hot cupboard till 9 o'clock at night. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, if I look back on it now, I'm thinking, oh my fucking God, I worked here. This was like shocking. We actually had a head chef who used to cook the chicken when he was on the breakfast shift at 8 o'clock. Okay, so I would start my shift at 10. The chicken, all the Cajun chicken and the chicken breasts were all butterflied, grilled, and they would be stuck in the bain marie until 10 o'clock at night. And to think back now, what the fuck was I doing? You know, these are the guys that were training me, and I'm like, holy fucking Christ. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. I got a Michelin star, and it just blew up, you know?
Yeah. Really, for real, bro. I can't even imagine. You are living the whole dream, you know, and your history and your career and your success are amazing, you know.
It's hard work. Hard work.
The fact that you didn't the fact that you didn't enter to a culinary arts, and the fact that you have a Michelin star, and of course the final table, the opportunity of Netflix, and now your restaurants. It's a real proof that hard work is the whole thing, you know.
You just got to have a little bit of faith in yourself and just trust your gut. I always trust my gut, you know. So from now on, anybody asks me to do something, I just say yes. So like, if you want me to do like a TV show, or you want me to go and do dinners all over the world, or you want me to even if it's like sending somebody a happy birthday request on Instagram, I just do it, because it's like, people look at you like you're this culinary god, and it's weird. It's like when I went to Mexico, I felt like a rock star. I mean, I couldn't even go to the supermarket without somebody going, "Oh, Chef Graham, can I get a photo?" And I'm like, "Fuck off! You don't want to take a photo of me." And I'm like, taking photos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fucking insane, you know?
Yeah. You are like a rock star. Yeah.
But see, in the UK, I'm a nobody. I can go out, nobody recognise me, nobody says anything to me, nobody even bothers at all. But see, like in America and Mexico, it's like fucking hell. I was like, this is surreal.
Yeah.
I mean, because the first time I went to Mexico was June last year, and I went for the group of SEMA do this big event where they take all the students and all the teachers to Toluca. And they do this culinary event, and I'm like, right, okay, I'll go. And oh my God, the people just swarmed me, and to the point I was like, I had to have like bodyguards to move me about. I think this is mental. It's like people
yeah, it's insane.
People going, "Can you hold my baby?" And I'm like, "Fucking what? You want me to hold your baby?"
What?
I know, it was surreal, man.
Oh my God, yeah, I can even imagine, you know, because being a chef and transform like to be a rock star, to be a celebrity. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
I know, neither can I. And it's like, this is mental. But it's cool. It's good in a way, because I get to inspire people to do better in what they want to do. You know, so the amount of messages that I get on Instagram, like, you inspire me to do this. I'm like, you just watch Netflix, and it's like, oh, you inspire me to go out and push better at my job, and do better in my job, and do better in my career, and do better in my life. And I'm like, fucking hell, this has got a massive impact on people all over the world. That this is, I mean, to be honest, it's fucking amazing. But it's surreal in a way, like how a guy from a country that's got 5 million people in it can inspire so many people throughout the world.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, because you inspire a lot of people to makes better, to do the things
Yeah, of
better.
course.
No matter how job you have, no matter what career did you select to study, you need to give the 100% and on everything.
Yeah, of course.
Like you and the whole. That's the whole point. That everyone.
I know, and if I can pass on my knowledge to other chefs and other students and other people to make them, to give them the passion and drive to be better in what they do and have better lives, and that's like that means more to me than being on the final table, or being a chef, or being to having a Michelin star, to actually pass on my knowledge and pass on my drive and my passion and get other people excited about the industry, then that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, and that's what we are talking about. That the point is, it's not just lucky to get to get a life like you. That living a dream. It's not just lucky. You need to work hard. You need to trust in yourself. You need
Of course.
to say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and I can do this and more, and I want to win and prove yourself and prove everyone that you could do everything."
Yeah, of course, you got to push yourself. And if you don't push yourself, then nobody's going to push you, because if you give up easily enough, then why should anybody help you? You've got to have it your own,
Yeah,
inside your own mind, and this is what you want to do, and you just sometimes you get lucky, and if you get lucky and you can capture something and you can hold on to that and make it work, and then you can inspire other people with what you do, then that makes all the difference.
yeah. I it's pretty amazing, pretty annoying, and like you said, it's insane. But now changing the conversation a little bit, I have understood that you are, like you said, you are going to open a restaurant. So tell us a little bit about the project.
Okay, so two restaurants in Texas. One's in McAllen, one's in Dallas, called Rosemary.
Okay.
The one in McAllen is a 40-seater, and the one in Dallas is 60 seats. Running it with really small teams, 5 front of house staff, 4 in the kitchen, and then a pot washer, so 5 in the kitchen total. 5-day week operations, Tuesday to Saturday. So everybody gets the same days off, Sunday, Monday, so they can have like a nice work life balance. We're also only doing dinner service, so none of these 7 a.m. starts. The boys will come in probably 10, 11, or girls, 10, 11 o'clock, work through, and then go home 11 o'clock. So it's like 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week. But then if they're set up on their sections, we don't open till 5:30, 6 o'clock. So they can actually come in at like 3 o'clock if they've got nothing to do. So they can pick their own hours, rather than being, right, okay, you need to be in at 10 and you're in at 10. It's like, well, I'm set up, I don't need to do anything for the next 4 hours. So I'm kind of giving them their own freedom to as long as they're set for service and they're ready to go and all the product's perfect, then I'm happy. And as long as the customers are happy, I'm happy. I don't want them to have to, okay, I need to wear my Sunday best suit to come out for dinner. I want them to go out in jeans and t-shirt and trainers and just enjoy themselves and experience my food, my dining experience. We've actually arranged the restaurants that there are completely open kitchens, and we've also got that customers can actually sit on. I think we've got 5 or 6 seats that run up the side of the kitchen, so people can actually sit on the pass, if you call it, and eat their food and get served by the chefs, and get to see the whole experience of the kitchen working while they eat and while they dine. So it's quite a cool concept, and I mean they're spending an absolute fortune on these restaurants. It's the best of the best. I mean, I've got granite worktops in my kitchens. It's all brass and dark blacks, and it's really like contemporary but relaxed. And I'd say we're all about the food and we're all about the service, and that's the angle we're going for. So we actually acquired the restaurants in October last year. We took on the lease, and you think now we're what, July now? We're still not finished the the construction yet because of obviously what's happening with the coronavirus. It all kind of slowed right now. We're actually supposed to open on the 13th of April. As you can imagine, we're still not open now.
Yeah, sounds amazing. Sounds so cool and terrific. The project sounds really good. But how are you doing with the COVID-19? I mean, I have understood that for the restaurants they can have more of the 50% of their capacity. So how will you operate your restaurant in the opening? Because I think a opening it's a really good thing to have your place full. So
Yeah, of course.
You will wait till the things get better, or what do you want to do?
I think, well, COVID-19 coronavirus, it's one of these, it's a pandemic that we weren't ready for start off. The world wasn't ready for it. I mean, they say that it came from China and it's kind of spread all over the world, and it's hit kind of every industry all over the world. I mean, as you can see, the restaurants kind of adapted the scene to do takeaway. So most of your even your 3 Michelin star restaurants in Chicago were doing takeaway. I live in Madison Park in New York. They were doing takeaway. So I think you kind of got to look at you've got to be able as a chef to think on your feet and adjust to what the world needs and what people needs. Because without people in your restaurant, you don't have a restaurant. It's just an empty building. So you need the customers, and you need to bring the customers in, and you need to service the customers' needs. So being a chef is not just about being in the kitchen and heads down, and you got your blinkers on, and you only kind of look in this tunnel vision. You've got to kind of open your eyes a little bit nowadays. And I think the coronavirus, it's got good and bad points. I mean, the good points, we'll start with the good points because nobody likes bad points. The good points is it's kind of slowed the world down a little bit. I mean, the world was going a little bit batshit crazy, and everybody was working all the time, and nobody was spending any time with their families, and you know what I mean? The kids were getting just dropped off at school, and people were going to work, and it was all really super fast paced. And when the coronavirus hit, I mean, nobody was working, nobody was doing anything. We're all in quarantine. It all slowed us all down to think, you know what actually matters in life, and it brought back all these home cooking and actually family experiences. And that's kind of what we want to do with the restaurant. We want to kind of have this family experience that my staff are like an extended family of my customers in a way. So I want them to know them by their first name, and I want to have regular customers that come back, and we know exactly, okay, they want this bottle of wine, they like to eat this style of food, they request this. I mean, if somebody requests something and we can get it in, we'll do it. So the coronavirus has kind of made us understand and realise that we've got to kind of change a little bit in our attitudes and in the way that we do things. And in the hospitality industry, that's kind of a major thing, because I mean, if you think the hospitality industry all over the world is so vast, I mean, you've got from takeaways to fine dining restaurants and everything in between. And everybody kind of went, oh shit, what are we going to do? And to get back on your point, like what I think we should do is we just need to understand and be safe in what we do. I mean, if you've got to do takeaways, you do takeaways. If you've got to do pickups, you do pickups. If you've got to kind of broaden your mind a little bit and not just be like, I'm a fine dining restaurant and I just want to do fine dining food, and if people don't want to eat my food, they can fuck off. That doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, coronavirus. Oh my god, affect a lot of things, a lot of industries, a lot of restaurants, and you, like you said, the hospitality industry. Oh my god, it's so affected.
Yeah.
And
the whole idea of the hospitality industry is people go out to socialise, and
yeah,
the coronavirus affected how we socialise, and you're like, fuck, what did we do?
yeah. Oh my god.
When we open, I mean, I think I'm currently in Scotland, and I can't get back into America. For one, America borders are all shut, so I can't get in. I can't go there on a. I'm still waiting for my work visa to be passed. We stuck that in October, and it takes months and months and months, and then the coronavirus hit, and it slowed everything down. So we're still waiting for my work visa to all be passed, but they've got all the information. So once my work visa's stamped, I can then head back. But I don't know if I want to go back right now because of what's happening in America right now. I mean, the coronavirus has just gone fucking apeshit in America right now. Like 3 million people infected and hundreds of thousands of people dying, and you're like, fucking hell, what am I left that America was opening up, and then 2 months down the line, it's like, holy fuck, the shit's hit the fan a little bit here. So we just got to kind of see how, you got to kind of take every day as it comes, you know. You got to do it as best by your customers, make the restaurant as safe as possible. I mean, it all comes down to, like, even to like wearing a face mask. I mean, even here when I go out to the shops, I cover my face. I mean, the whole covering the face thing, it's not to stop me getting the coronavirus. It's to stop me putting my germs and my saliva and my stuff that comes out my mouth onto other people. So if I can put a barrier in there, and even if it's just a face mask, to stop it even 50%, then I'm going to do it. And a lot of people need to you just kind of need to adapt in this industry and the way the world's going right now.
Yeah, that's the key. We need to adapt to everything, not just the coronavirus, you know. And yeah, it seems pretty awful, you know, pretty worse, pretty bad. But we need to have hope. We need to trust in things will be better.
Of course, I mean, we'll get there. It will turn around, but life is going to be completely different.
Yeah, we can't just give up, you know. We need to have a lot of hope, and oh my god, we need to wait. Actually, we need to wait, but everything's gonna be fine.
I think it's funny when the coronavirus came out, everybody's like, oh, it's the apocalypse and the world is going to end. To be honest, if every single human in the whole entire world vanished tomorrow, the world would be a better place.
Yeah.
You know? And I actually watched this, I watched this YouTube video. It was an Indian guy, and he was saying, like, if the worms, all the worms in the world disappeared tomorrow, within 4.5 months, the world will be done. And if all the sea life vanished within 4 years, like the human race now, we wouldn't exist. But if the human race ceased tomorrow, the world would prosper. You know, we take this world to such an advantage that we think we own it, and we think we're the superior species of the world, and no matter what we do, we are the superior race, and we are this and we are that, and it's like, we're not, you know. I mean, we've damaged this world in such a way that it's something people think it's irreversible. But to be honest, if we were to go, the houses would grow trees, the animals would all come back. You know, we've got to look at ourselves a little bit and think, let's make this place better and not make it worse, and stop thinking that we are this superior power to everything, and we rule over everything when we don't. I know we're getting a little bit deep here, but
yeah, yeah. Let's make the things better, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, we just need to just stop thinking that we are superior to everything when we're not. We're not at all. And I think the coronavirus is you think a little bug that you can't even see. You can't even see it. Could wipe us out, you know, and we can't stop it. We can kind of control it, but right now, if this coronavirus was like slightly more intense than it is, fuck man, it would have devastated the human race.
Yeah,
you know, and unfortunately, there's people out there that think they know better, and they don't want to wear face masks, and they don't want to social distance, and they don't want to do this, and they don't want that, and I'm like, fucking hell, come on, guys, use your brains a little bit here. But anyway,
yeah, we need to stay positive. Let back in our feet, you know, and hope. yeah, hope
pretty much, because
and wait.
We're going to have to live with this coronavirus, I think, for the rest of our life. I don't think it'll ever disappear for good. There'll always be. I mean, it's like all these other flus and pandemics and that we've had. They still exist today, you know. And what can we do? What can we do? One day they might find another one that's super aggressive, and it just demolishes the human race completely. But let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, hopefully.
Not in my lifetime.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's all for today, Chef. There's something that you want to tell the guys that they have a dream, they have plans.
Just always keep pushing yourself as hard as you can, and I always say this: forget about the arseholes, okay? Because there's loads of arseholes in the world. I mean, everybody's got one, and there's always people that want to bring you down and think that you're a nobody or you're a nothing. And to be honest, fuck them. I've gone through life with people shitting on me, and I'm just like, look at me now, you know? You want to see if I've been, go fucking stick on Netflix, dickhead, you know? And it's like, you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. You can do it with just a little bit of hard work, a little bit of patience, and a lot of determination. And that's what I say to when we done a tour in Mexico around all the group of SEMA schools, and all the students were like, how can I be better? I'm like, just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and if something's going to happen, it'll happen. But also, every day, people are going to put you down every day, and you just got to think, fuck you. And that's my favouriteest word, is fuck. Because you can use it in so many ways. I mean, even if you watch the final table on Netflix, I am probably the most sweariest chef on the show. I swear every fucking minute. But to be honest, it just keeps it real, you know, and people understand it. I'm a normal guy I'm not this made up character, fictional character on a TV show. I'm actually a real person. And I've got to where I've got by just sheer hard work and luck. You know, get lucky, always say yes to doing stuff and helping people out. And something might not happen right away, but it could be 5 years down the line that if somebody I've worked with or somebody that I've trained could come round and say, you know what, I'm opening 20 restaurants and I want you to run them all. And you're like, you can turn your life around in a day. But just being nice to people.
Yeah. Well, guys, that was Graham Campbell, and from the conclusion, fuck assholes. Fuck assholes. Yeah, fuck assholes. That's the whole point. That's this podcast. It's all about fuck assholes, because there are a lot of assholes in the world, and we don't need that. We don't need that. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Shit, but yeah, you know what I mean. And
yeah, I know.
And if this podcast can even inspire one person to be better in what they do, then fuck, it's worth
it. No. Thanks you. And again, it was a huge honor and a really good pleasure to have you here today, Chef. I hope that will not the first time and not the last one, of course. And
of course.
This podcast was so much fun and interesting and inspiring, and that's it. That's it.
No problem at all. Thank you very much.
Hashtag fuck assholes and hashtag that was Graham Campbell.
Right, guys, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Chef. And bueno, camaleones, esto ha sido todo por hoy. Gracias por escuchar. Nos vemos la próxima semana para un episodio más de Auténtico. Sé auténtico, sé único, sé tú. Hasta la próxima. See you, Chef. Take care.
Gracias.
Oh, gracias.
Gracias. I know some Spanish. It's cool. Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, no. Thank you, Chef. Goodbye.
All right, boss. Bye-bye.
Bueno, camaleones, esto ha sido todo por el episodio de esta semana. Espero les haya gustado. Si les gustó, no se les olvide compartir con sus familiares y amigos. Si nos están viendo en YouTube, no se les olvide dar suscribir y denle like si les gustó. Si nos están sintonizando en Spotify, no te olvides de suscribir al podcast. Recuerden que ya está disponible la tienda de ropa de Auténtico Shop en Instagram. Para que se den una vuelta, tenemos diseños increíbles. Sé auténtico, sé único, sé tú. Hasta la próxima.